Hello, welcome students, faculty, staff, and honored guests and families to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2023. My name is Angela Kugler. I'm the Executive Vice President of Administration and Operations, and it's my honor to be your MC today. The ceremony is about to begin. Please be aware that we are live streaming today's ceremony, and a link to the recording will be available online after today's event. We also have professional photographers who are taking portraits of all of our graduates and will be sending students links to images for purchase. For the dignity of the ceremony, we ask that everyone stay in their seat during this ceremony and welcome you to take photos from your seats. At this time, we ask that you please silence your cell phones and other electronics or handheld devices for the duration of the ceremony. Thank you. Please stand for the national anthem performed by the DigiPen Dragon Chorus. Thank you to the DigiPen Dragon Chorus. Please be seated. We'd like to thank all of you for coming to celebrate this special day for the class of 2023. I'd like to welcome Mr. Claude Comer, DigiPen's president and founder, to say a few words.
Thank you, Angela. I hate this thing. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is actually, again, this time of the year when I have to wear a suit. Yes, very rare. And it is time to, say something to you about the next step, the next stage of your life. Well, it has been really a pleasure having you with us for the past few years. And I know that it hasn't been easy at all. I know that DigiPen's education is extremely challenging. I know it. I am actually guilty of this fact. But everything that has a value is usually difficult to attain. Anything that has no value is usually found on the street or, as you walk around and you look down and you see something, probably some piece of garbage that somebody left behind. It is useless and it is worthless. Anything that has a value, you need to actually struggle to earn and to receive. Anything that is free is usually, not everything that is free, but sometimes a nice hello and a nice smile is very important. So I rephrase that. Not everything that is free is useless. But usually, something that is worth it usually will take a lot of work to understand and to attain and to master. Today, I am sure that we are sending you out. I am very sure of that you have been well taught and well prepared. And I have absolutely no reservation of signing your degrees. Because yes, I do sign it. Sorry, I couldn't silence this thing. It's my sugar alarm. I'm sorry. So I'm saying that I am sure that you have been well taught and well prepared. And I have absolutely no worries about you going out there and seeking jobs and anything that you would put your mind to, you will achieve, because you have passed our hurdles and our gauntlets. And those gauntlets that we have made you pass through are not easy at all. They weren't easy. It took you nights, overnight, studying and seeking and trying to understand and understanding at the end. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here today, trust me. DigiPen has never allowed in its history, in its 35 years of existence, never allowed anyone to graduate that did not deserve it. It's simple. You can beg, you can cry, you can start a lawsuit. I'd rather close the school, close the college, rather than actually giving something useless. And this is a promise that I am here to make in front of you and to you, that this thing, this attitude, this behavior of ours would be upheld forever, as long as I live. I will never allow your degree to become worthless and useless because the school started graduating people that do not deserve it. So when you actually meet another grad, whether they actually preceded you or coming after you, you can rest assured that this is one of yours. And this person is a friend, and this person understood exactly what needed to be understood, and you can trust them, and you can work with them. And not only you can trust their knowledge, but you can trust their integrity and their perseverance, and they will go till the end with you. These are the people that we graduate. Integer people, people that are honest, people that are knowledgeable, people that are kind. Let me ask you this question. Anybody from my students here, other than the teachers, have ever taught somebody at the school? Did you help somebody? Yes? If you help somebody, just raise your hand, please. Don't lie, huh? Okay, so you see, this is something that maybe the parents don't understand, that we boast a very low ratio of teacher to students. We are about 10 to 12 students for a professor. And if we add the assistants and we add the TAs and so forth, it's mind-boggling how low the ratio would become. But what people don't understand is that the 1,200 to 1,300 student population at DigiPen are all teachers. That's the reason why we do not have walls in the large rooms. That's why you do all your work visible to everybody. There are no secrets. You cannot have the attitude at DigiPen to say, oh, this is my secret. I'm not going to share it. Because the moment you stop sharing, right, you are weak. And the moment you stop sharing because you are afraid that other people would learn something that you know, this is the moment that you decide that you're never going to learn anything further. And this is the moment where your teachers will decide not to teach you anymore. Why should they give you what they know? So this is what I wanted to leave you with. I wrote it down on your pamphlets, on your programs. There is a small few paragraphs that I wrote. In summary, this is what I say, and this is what I want to say. One, integrity is the most important thing in life. Being honest, being kind, being true. Do you hear that? Beep, 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 beep. I'm sorry. It must be. I wear a sugar monitor just for you to understand. It's not that my body is beeping like that for no reason. So So I was talking about integrity. So the integrity is very important. Nobody wants to be around crooks and mean people and people that are not trustworthy. People will ostracize you, will go away from you. And so being honest, being integer is the most important advice I can give you. Well taught, I know. I know we're leaving you extremely well taught, and we have this program, which you probably all know, that for the next 10 years, we take you back for free. So if you have missed something and you go to Bungie, I just told my friend here that he can return the students to us. If you go to work and you find yourself that you actually fell on a job that is obligating you to actually work in the same topic that you neglected at DigiPen and you passed because you had a general average that was high enough to graduate, well, come back and take it. If you find that we have some education, some topics and some courses that weren't there when you were at DigiPen, please come back and take it. You have 10 years window. After 10 years, we start charging you again. So well taught, I know. Because I don't expect you all to come back next year to take courses, right? Imagine. But so DigiPen's education is for life. What you have studied is not just, you learned how to drop some menus in some software, or you became super users or advanced users of something. You are creators. You know the thing from inside out, from the bottom up. Remember, if you have heard one of my, preview days, is that we start teaching computer science using a wire, right? So we actually take the wire and we lick the wire. And if you get electrocuted, you scream 1. And if you don't get electrocuted, you say 0. And we start from there, 0 and 1s. And the artists, what did we do to the artists, the poor people? We had to make them go through 100,000 drawings the first year. Why? Because we needed to connect their brains to their fingers. So we know exactly what they have in their mind. So they don't give us and they don't settle for what they can do. So you have been well taught. I have no qualm with that. I'm not going to extend on those. But I had to say something for the poor parents and friends and families that you neglected for the past few years. They call us. They call us, mothers and fathers and loved ones call us. And the first thing we say, sorry, they're not here. Boom. Right? So this is basically, yeah, I know. That I know. Integrity is very important. Knowledge, we know that you have the knowledge. Come back if you're missing something, no problem. There is no sweat there. Now you need to continue education. You need to continue studying for the rest of your life. So don't be arrogant saying, I know it all. Let me tell you one thing. I did 21 years of university studies. 9 of them in Japan, in Japanese, right? So there is no excuse for saying, I stopped learning. You will never stop learning. And you need to continue learning and better yourself. So what did we say so far? Integrity first, well taught we know, but keep it on. Keep it going for the rest of your lives. Finally, never settle for mediocrity. Never, never. Mediocrity never pays for anything. Never settle for mediocrity. Keep sharpening yourself until you cut through the wind and you hear a whistle. As you cut the wind into 2 pieces, you should hear the whistle in your brain saying, oh my goodness, I must be dying today. Yeah, well, obviously I'm wearing a suit. I'm ready. Okay. Okay. Right. How can I not say a joke? I am not a serious person, seriously. Anyway. So I said those things that I wanted to say, and I don't want to take, the entire time here talking. I talked enough during the 4 years or 6 years that you have been with us. It's time for you now to talk. And as as a student once said, his name is Bilado, and he said that he was working at NST with me, and on my retirement day, he sent me a video saying that, Mr. Comer, while I was a student, you told me that I couldn't say anything, that I needed to listen, and I couldn't speak, which is true. I say that all the time. You should listen. That's why you have one mouth and 2 ears. You should listen more than speaking. And then when I became employee of yours at NST, at Nintendo Soft, you also told me to listen. So now that you are retiring, can I get back my voice? And today, I would like you to relax, and I know that is unusual. I'm going to ask you to get back your voice and scream with me. Okay? We need to scream. And we really need to actually shake this building. Because we need to wake up. Because I see some people still under they're tired from the last exams. Right? So we need to wake you up, people. Okay? Seriously. Because you're going to throw these hats later on or something, whatever you call these things. And it's not going to hit the ceiling. And I want to see them up in the air, right? So, but before you do that, I need you to scream with me. I'm going to count to 3, and you're going to scream. And we're going to show all of these people that we invited today what kind of voice you have, right? And I know usually I do it at the end of the day, at the end of the ceremony, but I am actually too tired to wait for the end of the ceremony. And this thing being beeping on me, who knows if I can make it till the end of the ceremony. So let's do it now. Sorry, Angie, okay? Yeah. Because Angie has a program, and I'm not allowed to do anything outside the program. Okay, so I count to 3, all right? And then we scream, seriously, scream, right? Don't hold it. You have been silent for the past 4 years, so please do it. 1, 2, 3. Good. That's good. That's good. Finally, I would like to thank the parents, the loved ones, all the people who were left behind for so many days. And thank you so much for the trust you put in us. I would like to thank my students. You are now colleagues, you are now friends. You no longer need to call me Mr. Comer or Professor Comer or whatever you call me behind my back. You can call me Claude. We are colleagues. I start receiving invitations for dinners because for people who don't know that, we are not allowed to actually have anything to do with the students while they are studying. So therefore now I'm free for dinners. I eat Chinese, I eat Lebanese, I eat Mediterranean, I eat anything. And I would like to thank, obviously, the staff at DigiPen that actually really is dedicated like no other people on earth. We love what we do, and we are here, because of conviction and not because of a salary or any of that. I know because the money is not enough to pay for the dedication of the teachers and the staff that we have, seriously. Mainly during the COVID years, we went out of our ways to actually teach without delays, without any interruption. As a matter of fact, if you remember, we slept that Friday, we were in person. That Monday, next Monday, 2 days later, we were already up and running fully. Goodbye. It was nice meeting you. Seriously, must be hitting 700 or something. Anyway, so I could never thank enough the staff during the COVID years, and you have spent COVID years with us. It was horrible. I'm glad that it is off and it is gone. And really, the dedication of our people have reached limits that are unbelievable. And for that, I really bow to them and thank them for giving you all the best that they could give during times that were awful. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Comer. And now, Mr. Chris Comer, DigiPen COO of Redmond, will do the honor of introducing our commencement speaker, Mr. Justin Truman.
Hey, everybody. I'm going to introduce Justin Truman over here. Justin is the Chief Development Officer at Bungie. He supports Bungie's ongoing mission to forge a creative and technical center of excellence. He is a leader who represents a multi-decade odyssey through a myriad of games, and he dedicates unique insight to uplifting a studio's world-class team. His advocacy reinforces their long-term health and success, not only of the studio and the game, but of all the people. He mentors and unlocks the potential of everybody. His stewardship empowers a culture of trust and innovation and a place where together, everybody can bravely turn radical visions into a worldwide culture. Truman's influence has shaped and evolved Destiny's universe for more than a decade. Please welcome Justin Truman.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Let me move this up. I'm a little tall. Yeah, so before I begin, I want to thank President Comer, the faculty, all of the staff here at DigiPen. You guys have really created something special here, not just as a center of academic excellence, but something that I've seen genuinely transform the entertainment industry that we all care so much about. And most importantly, I want to thank all of you graduates. Your hard work, your dedication, your achievement is why we're all here today. So let me introduce myself, although Chris did an awesome job already, but I'll repeat a little bit of it. I'm Justin Truman. I'm the Chief Development Officer at Bungie. And if you're not familiar with Bungie, that's okay. We're kind of a dad gamer company, so your dad probably played like Halo back in the day. And more recently, we make the action MMO Destiny that you might have heard of. Bungie has spent most of our 30 years growing up here in the Pacific Northwest, kind of alongside DigiPen, which has been pretty cool. And for me, I've been in games for about 2 decades now, ever since I graduated with my own computer science degree. And I spent about half of my career as an engineer, then a few years as a design director, then moved into production for a while, and then more recently in more of like business and leadership focused roles. And that means that I've worn and I continue to wear a bunch of different types of hats over the years. Some of the hats I was never expecting to wear, if I'm being honest. But as I navigated this pretty surprising journey over the last 20 years, I eventually came to realize that my passion, the north on my compass, is that I love helping people and helping organizations develop and become the best version of themselves. At this point, I think I honestly like that more than the video games, even though the video games are still pretty cool. But this speech isn't about me. We're here to focus on all of you. And so I want to talk about you, and specifically talk about your character, about who you are, where you're standing right here today or sitting, and what I know that each of you can become. And I want to talk about this character as an RPG because I'm a nerd. So let's talk about that character that you're building for yourself. And let me give you some tips for power leveling, for getting some extra XP, and for making sure that you enjoy the game that is ahead of you. And I know that I'm already talking to a bunch of power levelers because what you just did was so hard. The fact that you're sitting here today, like President Kumar was talking about, is one hell of an accomplishment. Like, did you know that 2/3 of the US population have not achieved what you have? What we're celebrating you achieving today. 2/3 of the entire country. And I can only imagine the level of work and effort that took. The late nights, the stress, the long hours, the pain, the perseverance, and now the triumph. But once you step out of here and are no longer focused on getting that degree, no longer have the structure and the goals of that finish line in front of you that DigiPen has provided, the game is going to get a lot more tricky. It's less linear, and it's a lot more open world. And one of the most important lessons that I wish I had learned earlier was that now that you are in this open world part of the game, it's really important to make sure that you are doing your side quests. I'm confident, because you're sitting here today, that every one of you is going to do something amazing. The fact that you are graduating, like President Kumar was saying, is already proof of that. You're going to create incredible experiences that are entertaining, that are inspiring, that are artistic. But it's also going to be really, really important as you do that to not give 100% of yourself, of your body and your soul to the pursuit of that craft. Because to build the amazing things that the world has never seen before, we need the best version of you. And that means that you need time, and you need space, and you need energy for hobbies, for friends, for family. This is not only a goal that's going to make you happier, but it's also going to keep you from burning out. And at a fundamental level, I've seen over and over again, it's going to make you more creative. So don't make the mistake that I made in my 20s. Like, I worked at a game studio, and I was so invested in the work. I was so excited to be there, so focused on doing the absolute best that I could, that I gave all of my energy and almost all of my time as a waking human to the pursuit of that craft. And it burnt me out after a while. Like, it wounded my relationships. It made me a pretty uninteresting, one-dimensional human being. And it wasn't until I was, I don't know, around like 30 or so, that I looked back and I realized that I had lost track of most of those 20s of mine. And that realization was when I really started focusing on the side quests. I started making myself a more three-dimensional character, and I am so much better of a human because of it. Like, I'm happier, I'm more grounded, and I am a better, more successful creative. So as you pursue your passions, as you create new things that are hard and that are incredible and that the world has never seen before you got here, make sure you're also spending enough time with your friends, with your family, and make sure you have hobbies. Like, no matter how hard your work is, no matter what game you are building, you're gonna need those side quests. Okay, side quest lesson 1 in the open world game. The next lesson, that each of these are just gonna be things that I've suffered through that I'm hoping to get you all to avoid. The next one is watch out for poison damage. Don't settle for a toxic work environment. It is so easy to be grateful that you finally have achieved your dream. You have a games job, you have a dream job, you're working on something awesome, you have a career that makes you feel so fortunate that your friends would be like lucky to be doing something as cool as what you're doing. And when you feel that way, it's really easy to start accepting some big compromises. Maybe the team that you're on treats you poorly, or maybe they're nice, but they just demand too much of you. Or maybe the team has a toxic and unhealthy work culture. And I need you to hear this, that even when pursuing your dreams, you can demand better for yourself and still achieve those dreams. Because there are definitely still game studios out there that are toxic, that are immature, and that will exploit you if you let them. There are also a lot of amazing studios out there that will inspire and nurture and reward you. And especially if you're not a privileged, overconfident white dude like me, there are still a lot of places in the industry that can be hostile and discriminatory. But there are also a lot of places that aren't. And so don't ever settle. Don't shrug off the poison damage. Leave and find something better. And it's worth talking about the other side of this coin too, because the culture of any team that you're on, whether it's healthy or whether it's toxic, is also going to be based on how good of a teammate you are. At Bungie, we have a value that we say a lot in the studio, which is that teams are stronger than heroes. And the reason why we say this so often is because creativity is hard. It's scary. You have to feel safe to be your best on a team, to throw out wild, unbaked, probably still bad ideas and get them upgraded. You have to be okay feeling imperfect, showing your vulnerability, acknowledging when you're stuck or don't know what you're doing. And that means for any healthy culture to stay healthy, you need to be a great teammate. Not just a good teammate, a great teammate. Someone who is collaborative, someone who is supportive, someone who makes every day the other people around you feel safe, feel inspired, feel willing to take more risks and be creative. And so on any team that you find yourself on, you always want to be creating a culture where you all succeed together and share that credit equally. And I know you've already experienced some of this. Like DigiPen has this amazing project-based curriculum that you've had a lot of opportunity to work on teams. And I bet you've had some great team experiences in that. But I want to emphasize that this is a skill. Even if you don't think you've ever been the jerk on your team, I guarantee that this is something that you can keep practicing. This is something that you can get better at. This is something you can level up in. And it's essential if you want to build something great and feel great while you build it. You want to keep honing that skill. You want to focus on being an incredible, collaborative teammate. Okay, so what have we got so far? Do your side quests, avoid poison damage, be a good teammate. The next and maybe most important thing that I want to talk about is your character sheet. Because what I've found to be probably the single best secret to long-term success is to focus on your character sheet. Don't focus on where you want to be. Don't focus on what you want to do. Focus on who you are. Because building that character sheet is the real secret that is going to get you to exactly where you want to be, get you doing exactly what it is that you want to do. Let me try to make this tangible with an example. So let's say you want to be a game director at a prestigious studio someday. For any given project, there's only one of those. And so it's really easy for that focus over time to become external. How do you secure that spot? How do you convince other people to put you in that position, to promote you to game director? How do you beat out your other teammates who are really awesome and inspiring so that you get that one spot? And pretty soon, with that external perspective, you start viewing your collaborators, your teammates, not as collaborators, but as competitors. And this route is pretty guaranteed to lead to a certain amount of bitterness, of side-eyeing, of not a lot of things that are going to turn you into that great teammate that we were just talking about. But instead, if you focus on a goal like that internally, what skills do you need in your character sheet to become an incredible game director? Then you have a road in front of you. Like, do you need to get better at pitching ideas really effectively? Then you can start practicing pitches. Do you have a really strong grasp of aesthetics, but know that you need a better understanding of mechanics design? That becomes the next thing you focus on building in your character sheet. There's always something that you can be focusing on your own character sheet to help you work towards a goal. And what I found over and over again is that if you focus these lofty goals about where you want to go, what you want to do, you turn those internally instead of externally, two amazing things are going to happen. First, you're just going to be happier. Like, you can control your internal progress in a way that you can't control a lot of external things. And so it's going to be much less likely to lead to bitterness, to frustration, to disappointment from things that are fundamentally out of your control. But also, this is the unintuitive part. This is the secret. I guarantee that this approach is going to get you to that external goal faster. Building your XP, paying attention to your character sheet, unlocking new perks is the secret that opens the doors to lead you to where you want to go. I've seen it happen again and again and again to my friends, to my colleagues, and I know it's going to work for you too. And so this leads me to the last lesson that I wish that I had learned earlier about our character sheets, which is that you can multi-class. Like I mentioned at the beginning, like, I've ended up working as an engineer, as a designer, as a producer, even as like a stuffy business guy. And I noticed this funny thing after I'd unlocked a couple of different character classes, which is that I'd walk into a room and depending on who I was talking to, they'd box me in to just one class that they knew me as. One group of folks would treat me like an engineer because they had worked with me when I was in engineering. Another group would treat me like a designer, but nobody thought of me as both. And the reality is that most people that you encounter for the rest of your life are gonna wanna put you in a box like that. They're gonna wanna give you a specialization, a character class, and they're gonna assume very little of you outside of that specialization and what it entails. And it's gonna happen so much that it becomes really easy to start doing it to yourself. But don't ever box yourself in. Don't ever limit what you can become. You contain multitudes. Like, just think about the last few years that you've spent here at DigiPen. Think about the day before you first arrived here. If you pull up your character sheet in your mind, what did it look like? How good were you at art or design or engineering or audio just a few years ago? And now think about your character sheet today. Pull that one up in your mind. How much have you grown? How much expertise, true, like, class-based expertise, have you unlocked? Maybe a brand new character class that you've become that you can call yourself. And so if you spend the next 20 years like me, building your character sheet, leveling up, you're gonna get to go through that same level of growth at least like 5 more times. And it doesn't all have to be in the same skill tree. Like, maybe you're gonna choose to grow in leadership and management skills for a few years. Or maybe you're gonna suddenly become an expert in generative AI, because that's really hot right now. Or maybe you're going to become the world's greatest storyteller, even if you started in engineering or in music. And I'm saying this because I need you to say it to yourselves over the years as you plot your course. Because a lot of the world around you is going to say the opposite. They're going to figure out what your most obvious class is, and they're going to box you into that. But you should always expect more of yourself. Be curious. Push your own boundaries. Be willing to start feeling dumb again, because that means that you're learning something new. You're back to being a student, not an expert. Because while we are today celebrating the completion of your time here at this amazing university, you're not done learning. Not even close. If we could pull up that character sheet right now that you were visualizing, like you're at level, 10, and there is no level cap. Like you can get to 100 beyond. You can multi-class. You have the ability to become the best person in the world at that thing you're really passionate about. If you just keep grinding XP, if you keep thinking about your character sheet, if you stay curious and you stay thoughtful as you level up. Because I'm looking around the room right now, and what I see is the future leaders of our industry. I'm old. I'm already out of touch, and I'm that gamer dad that's already fading into obscurity, and that's fine, because you are going to be the ones who push the boundaries. You will invent whole new genres of entertainment that the world has never seen before you got here. You are going to create artistic experiences that show us what it means to be human, that touch the souls of millions of people. You're going to reinvent this entire industry in your image, not mine, creating a better, kinder, more diverse, more inspiring world of experiences that can represent everyone here. And honestly, I just can't wait to get out of the way and cheer you on as you take the throne. So, I want to hear some applause for you guys, for what you've accomplished and what you are about to go on to accomplish. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Truman, for sharing your wisdom. Next, Dr. Eric Moorman, the Dean of Faculty, will recognize the faculty.
Hello, dragons. Yeah. Look around you. This is a great community. Today, to honor you, we have gathered your friends, your family, and your faculty. And most of today, we're focusing on honoring you for what you've accomplished. And that's appropriate. If you pause a minute, you might even close your eyes to do this. Think about who you were. You can be honest, it's just inside of your own head. Think about who you were when you walked in the door and how different you are today. You're physically different, you're mentally different, you're emotionally different. Awesome. In fact, in a little bit, we're going to start honoring you as a group, and I have the privilege of beginning that. First, however, I'd like to do a pivot. And that pivot aligns so well with what Mr. Truman just presented to us. I'm so thankful for that, because we are going to pivot to just that, to an attitude of thankfulness. And I won't dwell on the research and bore you too much today. You've earned the privilege of not hearing that from me again. But thankfulness will make you live longer, and thankfulness will make you enjoy the years that you live more. So with that, let's turn and thank our faculty for a moment. So now we get a chance to embarrass them. So we're going to make them all stand up for a moment, and you're going to have to listen to me talk briefly. So faculty, please rise. I didn't even get to that part yet. We're going to pause and reflect on the last years briefly and thank them with, yes, more applause for what has happened over that time. In that time, they have held us accountable. Am I right? Thank you. And they have also extended grace. They have provided for us struggles. Am I right? And they have also extended to us the ways through those struggles. They have set for us high bars, and we can thank them for helping us over those high bars. But perhaps the greatest thing we can summarize in one word, and this one word is yet. And I would encourage you, graduates, as I say the word yet, you can say it with me. You'll catch the rhythm of this real fast, I bet. There's been plenty of times when I haven't known how to do something yet. There's been plenty of times when I was not the complete person I wanted to be yet. And there has been many, many times when I haven't changed the world yet. And for helping us learn those lessons in that powerful word, let's thank our faculty. Thank you. All right. Now we turn our attention to the graduates, and it is my pleasure to honor those who have earned the highest GPAs of their graduating class in their undergraduate degree programs. Valedictorians, please stand as your name is called. We will have a chance for applause at the end, don't you worry. For the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Digital Art and Animation, Nithit Borarak-Fanit. For the Bachelor of Arts in Game Design, Josie Brakovich. For the Bachelor of Arts in Music and Sound Design, Ina Almason. For the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Digital Audio, Yo Ginosa. For the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Game Design, Adam DeBrock. For the Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering, Jane Cornich. For the Bachelor of Science in Machine Learning, Ben Van Ostendorp. For the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Raj Saini. And for the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science in Real-Time Interactive Simulation, Sandy Jameson. Thank you, valedictorians. Now please remain standing. I would now like to honor all graduates who are graduating with honors. Undergraduate students who have achieved a 3.5 cumulative GPA or higher, and graduate students who have a 3.7 cumulative GPA or higher are wearing gold cords to signify their academic honors. If you are wearing a gold cord, please stand. Guests, join me in honoring these students. Thank you.
Congratulations, students, and thank you, Dr. Mormon. It is time for our nominated student speaker, who will be introduced by Mr. Chris Comer.
All right, thank you, Angie. Thank you, students. I would like to introduce our nominated student speaker. The student was chosen by our faculty and staff to speak to their graduating class for being a positive example of what it means to be a DigiPen dragon, both inside the classroom and outside the classroom. Please welcome Josie Brakovich.
Oh boy, you'll have to forgive me, I'm a little nervous. Thank you everyone for being here today. It is wonderful to be celebrating this momentous occasion with you. When I started at DigiPen, I was the biggest worrywart. I fretted over everything, every turn-in, every possibility. I used to hand over my assignments and promptly leave the building. Do you guys have any favorite crying spots in the parking lot? My favorite one was kind of in the middle. There's like a 4-seat nook with a pit included. I feel like I'm not alone. There were times it was occupied. Pits aside, I realized at a certain point that I could probably use a little less worry in my life, not only about assignments, but also because those unknowns just don't go away. My change in heart comes from a collection of wisdom shared with me by some of my favorite people. As it was said freshman year, no one makes it through DigiPen alone. Perhaps my biggest supporter, Joseph, gave me a couple of cheesy things to cling to. Now, before we get too hung up on the cheese, I love cheesy things. Professor Forster knows this a little too well, as I excitedly shared with her my leather book of quotes aimed at those in a midlife crisis. The first cheesy thing that I tried to embrace was called the 5x5 rule. If it isn't going to matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes worrying about it. I absolutely fought Joseph on that one. I do concede now, because it has not been 5 years, and I have no idea what that was about. So freshman year, Josie gets a little bit better. She worries a little less and becomes a sophomore who still cries in the parking lot, but notably less often. Spring rolls around, and this is the time that designers choose what to specialize in. I think I changed mine around like 3 times that semester, but the story I want to share is a phone call I was in tears prior to, of course, but this time Professor Holcomb is on the other end. He asked me what I want to be when I grow up. The future looms, the impending doom is back. I express my many worries. Holcomb, in response, sends me a Billy Joel song. The lyrics are slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything you want before your time. I breathe, add the song to my playlist, and set my eyes on being a systems UX designer. I'll later change that, of course. No, I changed it. Backed up by more support, I finished the semester with my head held high. And then that summer, I start my first real big girl job and immediately go back to fretting and worrying. It's a theme. I worked from 9 to 5, although it's kind of like noon to 8 in Eastern time, and I quickly developed the habit of shutting down my computer at like 8:15 and then crying until 8:30. When I confessed to Joseph again that I wasn't right for this job, they hired me way too fast, I didn't know what skill set they were getting, I didn't have enough experience, I wasn't learning fast enough, he cut me off and told me I was a silly goose, and that the mark of mastery is consistency, not quick aptitude. This is a little cheesy, but I love it so much. Consistency, not quick aptitude. I wasn't learning the tool quickly, I was awful at it, and I was just showing up and making broken things, but I was learning a little bit every day. The task that summer was building a series of prototypes, and the first one took me over a month. But the last one I was able to make in a week. It is consistency, not quick aptitude. Okay, that is truly enough about me crying. The point here is that everything is kind of hard, but it's an incredible blessing that we don't need to do it alone. It was through the people by my side, and this does go beyond Joseph and Holcomb. I just selected stories purely on levels of cheese, that I learned to focus on what's in front of me. It is so much better. The burden is so much lighter. You cry in the parking lot so much less when you focus on the parts that actually matter than torturing ourselves with the endless pile of what ifs. It can be taken with or without the cheese, but the reality is that very few things matter in 5 years. We can all use a little bit of slowing down, and mastery is made through being consistent in the actions that are taken day by day. Thank you all for being on this journey with me and being the 200-some pieces of evidence in pointy hats that all these things are true, that we can move through days one at a time together and accomplish amazing things. It is awesome to be here with you today. To end in the words of DigiPen's favorite wizard, who unsurprisingly is a fan of Billy Joel, I love you all. Our time together has drawn to a close. Fly, be free, and I'll see you in the industry.
Josie, thank you so much for honoring your classmates with those thoughtful stories and words. Next, I'd like to draw your attention to our DigiPen Dragon Chorus as they perform Other Commencement. Lyrics are by DigiPen alumnus Ariel Kim, and music is by Dr. Sarah Riskin and conducted by Stephen O'Bent.
Like we did in these past years, growing, fighting, hurting, living our passion. we've spent to
The start of this chapter has begun. The end of this chapter has arrived.
Thank you so much for that lovely performance. We're now ready to confer degrees to our graduates. As a reminder, we ask that guests stay seated during the ceremony and not approach the stage, as we have professional photographers who will be sharing links to photos of all graduates within the next 2 days. Conferring degrees for the MFA program is Program Director Mark Henn. The Master of Fine Arts in Digital Arts combines foundational coursework in the fine arts with extensive digital production experience to help students develop both their personal skill and artistic voice. Up first, Miranda Penrod. Caleb Barefoot. Michelle Buxita Roque. Conferring degrees for the MSCS program is Program Director Dimitri Volper. The Master of Science in Computer Science allows students to further their understanding of computer science while specializing in an advanced subdiscipline of simulation software and video game development. Okay. Brian Chen. Nahe Park. Andrew Rudishus. Asim Apusatam. Rohit Punjabi. Vance Howell. Brady Menendez Campos. Abhijit Zala. Fyodor Sharygin. Seth Kohler. Krishna Pillai. Conferring degrees for the BFA in Digital Art and Animation is Program Director Jasno Francoeur. The Bachelor of Fine Arts in Digital Art and Animation teaches students the techniques, processes, and tools that professional artists use to create powerful, affecting imagery for games, animated films, and other digital media. Chucky Chang. Douglas Wu. Ev Lay. Maddie McElfish. Krisha Rinaldi. Xiaowan Ma. Nicole McElhose. Devin Busenbark. Ethan Yant. Louis Hu. Natit Borirak Panit. Judapat Limpat Anaku. Tachua Napasa. Megan Urchukiyat. Naomi Ebata. Jade Bay. Caleb Leno. Riley Olson. James Anderson. Dottie Johnson. Molly Vizart. Jessica Rivas. Ariel Moss. Haley Conway. Ivan Osorio. Wendy Morrison. Sarai Osborne. Jessica Keaty. Megan Kim. Elizabeth Ray Polanco. Olivia Brem. Lily Eubanks. Damaris Unat Almanza. Emily Hoff. Dara Perez Mendez. Aurora Yanez. Jared Rose Kim. Michael Pacheco. Riley Scott Simmons. Garrett Lusignan. Ava Rooney. Megan Meadows. Anna Stockton. Harriet Clark. Julia Brown. Rowan Thompson. Madeline Vokovich. Vince Leopardi. Darren Walker. Veronica Pavlova. Jason Bay. Benjamin Amos. Ginger Shanfro. Tristan Adam. Hikaru Wong. Andrew Yan. Casey Butler. Rebecca Joins. Casey Lei Kiolopo. Conferring degrees for the BA/GD program is Program Director Jeremy Holcomb. The Bachelor of Art in Game Design combines game design theory and practice with coursework in the humanities, social science, art, and the fundamentals of mathematics and computer science to produce graduates with a deep knowledge of how to craft compelling game experiences. Congratulations, Chris Cassidy. Lonnie Forrest. Elle Schaefer. Kevin Jacobson. Grant Garut. Prasad Chandra Arun Prasad. Raven Montoya. Oliver Chung. Watsapan Atsawakit Tipan. Jarukit Sangapanchai. Apichaya Apichatwang. Cody Hardy. Andrew Valadez. Hunter Say. Daniel Hiley. Zach Meldrum. Keon Rodriguez. Metas Sorntanaya Sakam. Luke Campbell. Maybell Britt. Zach Super. Kai McDermott. Manira Lael Smart. Casey Beckman. Max Lucier. James Ward. Gilberto Jimenez. Jean Samarn Katiwat. Corey Pfeiffer. Josie Brakovich. Joseph Crump. Jaden Corrido. Conferring degrees for the BA MSD program is Program Director Lauren Schwedler. The Bachelor of Arts in Music and Sound Design focuses on the creative principles of interactive sound design. This program combines foundational coursework in music, including music history, composition, theory, and performance, with practical training in studio recording techniques and sound design principles. Okay, DJ Havens. Carly Schenk. Ina Almason. Noah Lodoff. Colin Kolb. Antonio Leader. Harrison Jones. Eric Caton. Kylie Wallet. John Sullivan. Noah Taublieb. Eric Herbst. Conferring degrees for the BS-CSDA program is also Program Director Lauren Schwedler. The Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Digital Audio combines the disciplines of computer science, audio engineering, and music. This degree program focuses on audio programming and digital signal processing, along with audio production and implementation, to train the next generation of game audio programmers in the development of adapted soundscapes and the tools needed to build them. Kayleen Swenson. Yo Ganoza. Anthony Bond. Natalia Pollock. Next, we have the BSCSGD program, and conferring degrees for that program is Program Director Ben Ellinger. The Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Game Design combines game design theory and practice with coursework in computer science, mathematics, the humanities, social sciences, and arts to produce graduates who are proficient computer scientists and designers. First up, we have Kelson Wysocki. Alex Jalonen. Ben Thompson. Ben Mowry. Aaron Scribner. Scott Fideau Bristow. Stephen Dosey. Jacob Burke. Jacob Shumway. McKinley Roshak. Jackson Fisher. Hibnu Shahul. Julian Blackstone. Lillian Monroy. Jessica Gramer. Kiara Santiago. Adam DeBrook. Chris Brown. Riley Bird. Evie Brown. Devin Peterson. Jiragit Jarusili Peapot. Bar Benzvi. Matt Walker. Dan Jong. Wanju Zhou. Kenny Meacham. Kobe Colson. Charlie Osberg. Seth Merrill. Matthew Meehan. Daniel Nunes. Christopher Dowell. Grant Wu. Mars Jurich. Damian Rouse. Deontay James. Kai Kawashima. Frankie Camarillo. Cole Schwinghammer. Christian Wookie. Conferring degrees for the BSCE program is Program Director Jeremy Thomas. The Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering prepares students to become engineers who understand both sides of the hardware-software interface, from designing circuits to developing operating systems. Students take advanced coursework in electrical engineering and low-level programming, along with project-based courses that allow them to conceive, design, prototype, build, and test embedded systems. Ghassan Yunus. Kai Nobusada. Jane Cornich. Conferring degrees for the BSCS ML program is Program Director Barnabas Bede. The Bachelor of Science in Computer Science in Machine Learning focuses on predictive modeling and core machine learning algorithms, as well as on various paradigms such as artificial neural networks and deep learning. Students explore applications ranging from natural language processing to computer vision as they learn to draw meaningful conclusions from large distributed data sets. Alex Herrera. Paul Hazen. Ben van Ostendorp. Adrian Kesmarsik. Conferring degrees for the BSCS program is Program Director Pushpak Karnik. The Bachelor of Science in Computer Science prepares students to develop software through a combination of computer science theory and continuous practical application in team-based projects. Students learn to gather, store, and analyze real-world data to connect and harness the power of distributed computing devices and to create digital interfaces that are natural and intuitive. Joanna Lee. Raj Saini. Jacob Hendrickson. Will McDonald. Jonathan Knowles. Conferring degrees for the BSCS RTS program is also Program Director Pushpak Karnik. The Bachelor of Science in Computer Science in Real-Time Interactive Simulation focuses on developing, implementing, and programming complex interactive simulations and computer graphics in real time, giving students the knowledge and skills to produce highly complex software systems at a professional level. Aiden Svengros. Gibson Hoagland. AJ Busman. Bailey Magelli. Nutnari Anglumklu. Taher Kogzi. Mark Koris. Sejong Park. Yui Jin Lee. Sinil Kang. Javier Sandoval. Amir Azmi. Alexander Smith. William Patrick. James Milton. Joshua Polanco. Lance Dobronsky. Ryan Bueller. David Cruz. David Wong Cascanti. Nikki Piltz. Sandy Jameson. Spencer Williams. Chao Chu Liu. Siler Feng. Matthew Lattiser. Rohit Saini. Julie Sachs. Juan O. Mook Kim. Gina Hyun. Sue Kim. Hosub Jong. Yoon Ki Kim. Ryan Kim. Sean Kim. Jay Sharma. please join me in giving a round of applause for all of our graduates. You don't want to do this? So as you know, President Comer threw off my program, and I'm just checking to see if he's still with us at this time in the ceremony. Do you want to
Should I check the machine?
speak?
Just want to see. Well, as you can see, I'm still here, despite what the machine is saying. Machine learning, yeah? Well, anyway, when technology, one thing that I learned over these years, and trust me, I started computer science in 1974. So you can imagine how old that was. So the machine could be right, you know, it's time to go. Who knows? Well, I just wanted to thank everybody. We did a lot of acknowledgement, but there is one group that I believe also needs a lot of our thanks and gratefulness. Is the staff of DigiPen, you know, the administrative staff that is there day in, day out, making sure that every single ailment that you had was taken care of. People maybe do not know, but for the 1,200 or 1,300 students that we have at DigiPen USA here, we are about 500 people taking care of you. So it is really a little army, and we need that to keep you at bay, you know. We watch you every step of the way. So I want to thank all of them, really, to actually be there every day, every single day, for every single problem that may appear. And, you know, we made it so far for 35 years. People say that I'm the founder. That is true. But obviously, I am not alone. I cannot do any of that alone. And I needed all this team to share the vision and to share also the dream, because this is a dream. And all I know is that I'll wake up and none of that has ever happened. But it is a dream. And I left it over there and still, you cannot turn it off. This is the problem. Seriously, this is one of these devices that you can't turn off, right? So maybe from the beyond, you can still hear me. Remember that tone whenever you hear it. I'm behind you. So, right? Here he comes. Anyway, so I mean, it's hard to concentrate with this thing all day long beeping like that. Keep taking my pulse to see if I'm still here. But anyway, I wanted to thank everybody, thank really the staff of DigiPen. And we collaborate all over the world. I mean, seriously, you know, you have to understand that we learn a lot from the other campuses as well on what to do, what not to do, and so forth. So we are a little group of people that is really, really, you know, dedicated, and that makes us a whole, you know, family, and you are part of it, and you are going to graduate, and you have friends. You have friends in Asia, you have friends in Europe, you have friends in America, and it is good to be part of a group that you can understand, and you feel that you are, you belong to the same type of people. And remember, we are kind, and we are giving, and we are actually generous. And with this, I leave you. This is the only secret of success, in my opinion, of being honest, genuine, nice, and generous. Did I say generous? Yes, I did say generous. I like generous. I repeat it twice. Okay, thank you so much. And I usually end it with the scream. We started it with the scream, so we'll not do the scream anymore because it's too much. Do you want to scream? Okay, so let's scream. Come on. 1, 2, 2.5, 3. That's how I want you. That's how I want you. So what should I do here?
Before we depart today, I'd like to take a moment to thank the following people. To our presenters and members of DigiPen leadership, Claude Comer, Dr. Eric Moorman, and Chris Comer for their roles in overseeing the education and honoring our graduates today. Justin Truman for his inspirational speech. Josie Brakovich for their motivational address to the student body. Maddie Caswell and the commencement work group for planning and executing this incredible event. The marketing and communications and DigiPen Sound Lab teams for their support and publications for this ceremony. Our faculty and staff for their hard work and commitment to our students' education. The DigiPen Faculty Ensemble, the Dragon Chorus, and the Chamber Singers for today's beautiful performances. The Linwood Event Center for providing the beautiful space. And finally, thank you to all of you, family and friends, for your support in helping our students reach this point. Thank you. Guests, we kindly ask that you please stay seated until the head party, faculty, and students have left the hall. There is a reception taking place at DigiPen immediately following the ceremony. We hope to see you all there. And graduates, it's almost time to turn your tassels from the right side of your cap to the left, signifying your transition from students to alumni. On the count of 3, move your tassels and please feel free to toss your caps in the air. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.